Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas live from the great state of Oregon. I am John Neighbors alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis. Appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon or your morning this morning, because we are live from Spirit of 77 Sports Bar here in Portland, Oregon, getting you ready for Arkansas game day against Hawaii here at the NCAA tournament. It's here, guys. We're finally here. It's game day. There's no longer any waiting. There's no in more about, hey, how far can the Hogs go? Hey, what is the matchup? Do they play help defense? None of that nonsense. We're actually going to have a legitimate, true game here today in Portland with Arkansas and Hawaii here in just a few hours.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to happen. And, folks were so excited that we were here. The Wisconsin band came and did a halftime show for us right here before we started. That was kind of wild. But, no, man, this is good. Woke up this morning excited, pumped up, ready for this day. March Madness is already going on. It's crazy. Like, it tipped off at 9:15 local time here. March Madness for breakfast. I love it. That's great. But I can't wait for this Arkansas game to get rolling. I can't wait to get over to the arena, get a feel for what the atmosphere is going to be in there. I know High Point and Wisconsin play first. It looks like there's a lot of Wisconsin fans here, but maybe we get the weirdness. Do you want to get the weirdness out of the way with High Point doing something a little bit crazy, or do you want to just go right according to plan? Wisconsin takes care of business. That way you don't feel like there's anything funny happening in the Moda Center.
I got to be honest. So I wasn't planning on Wisconsin completely dominating the bar that we had set out to do our thing at. But I wasn't rubbed the wrong way about it. I wasn't like, wow, I hate these guys now. I think I kind of respect it. So honestly, Curtis, obviously the pig comes before all. So obviously whatever it takes to get Arkansas as far as possible, that's what I want to happen. But I will say it would be kind of sad to watch all these guys. They're fired up to watch their team, man. The band was here. They were engaged with the fans. It was a really cool little moment there. And as much as we love going places where Arkansas fans completely dominate, we go to Dallas, or, if we had gone to OKC or St. Louis or somewhere like that, it would have been cool to see so many Hog fans. But I kind of like it when we're like the odd man out. And we've talked to a handful of Hog fans throughout this weekend, and everyone's kind of like, where are the other Hog fans? Like, where can I find anyone? We got random people who have never met now hanging out at this bar just because they're the only Hog fans here. I think that's cool. And so I'm excited, man. It's hard not to be fired up whenever it's, the first day of the real NCAA tournament. Everyone's at work doing nothing right now. It's a national holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it truly is. It's the first day of the NCAA tournament, at least the real games, none of those play-in games. But, yeah, we've had a few Razorback fans. We have some behind us. We have a Razorback fan right here that's hanging out as well. So I know that there's going to be a lot of fans that are making the trip over here. Some of them may be getting in early this morning even. It's just a matter of when you can get into town. But it's going to be a mid-afternoon game or an early afternoon game. It just depends on what time zone that you're actually going to be in, happen at the Moda Center. And, it's exciting because, we have the backdrop here. If we mention all the Wisconsin fans that were hanging out here and stuff, it's like, they're buzzing and they're excited because they feel like, hey, we can beat High Point, and they, maybe they face Arkansas. And it's just like everybody right now feels as great as ever. I think the Nolan Richardson clip that sometimes gets put out there, he's like, if you don't believe you can win it, then you shouldn't be in it. It's like, that's the NCAA tournament moniker of like, hey, if you don't believe you can win this whole thing or win some games, everybody today is thinking, man, you know what? My 13th seed could beat that 4 seed. Everybody feels that way, and that's what makes this time so special, and that's what's going to make it so great for Arkansas. Is like, hey, this is the time where if you talk about matchups, talk about who you got, you talk about whatever. Like, well, Hawaii's going to say, hey, we want to be that Cinderella team. We want to be the ones that upset you, and they're going to give you your best shot. Man, oh man, would they love to upset Arkansas and John Calipari to feel a little like. It could be like, I'm not saying it's going to be their greatest win of all time in college basketball history, but, it might be. I don't know anything about Hawaii's history, but it might be like one of those things. So you're going to get their best shot. You got to focus in, though.
Well, they can want in one hand and poo in the other and then clap. That's what we're going to do today for Hawaii. I do think the best win for their program, I think, was 10 years ago when they were a 4 seed and they beat, when they were a 13 seed, they beat 4 seed Cal. I think that was it the Jaylen Brown team?
Maybe.
Might have been.
I think don't quote me on that, but I think that might have been the case. So, yeah, there's going to be shenanigans that go on today. I was kind of looking at everybody puts out. People are so good with numbers nowadays. Like, you can create a percentage for anything or a stat for anything. And so there we go. Woo pig. And so it's crazy how people are like, okay, it's almost a guarantee that an 11, 12, or 13 seed is going to win a basketball game today.
Yeah.
And so they're just kind of breaking down all the math and everything. And when you're in the position where you don't want to be that team that gets popped, you start looking at that and you go, So you're telling me there is a chance that it could happen. I don't like that because you want it to be a foregone conclusion. But no, man, it's going to be fun to get over there and see, how this team's looking. Obviously, we got the news about Nick Pringle last night being questionable for this game. I don't know about you guys, but it was noticeable. Like, he didn't do anything at the open practice we were at yesterday, but he was fully dressed out and in his sneakers and everything. He was just kind of hanging out under the basket. When we talked to him, he seemed fine, upbeat, excited about everything. It might have just been the best ploy of all time. I kind of anticipate he's going to be available today. They went and practiced somewhere else afterwards, and I don't know that he set out from that one. I think it was just kind of a deal. And Andrew, you kind of mentioned this when we were talking about it last night, that maybe this is something that they do regularly with these guys that are a little bit banged up. And it could be a deal to where because the NCAA is here and it wasn't open practice, like, you have to put it on the injury report kind of thing. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I think the difference between questionable and doubtful, and these are all weird terms, it's like it's weird that we're now in college sports and we're using these, but questionable and doubtful, different, and I think if they thought that he wasn't going to play, I think doubtful would have been the terminology they used there. Questionable, like you mentioned, I think you had to do something because, listen, there was 45 NCAA employees there yesterday. There's a bunch of nerds with cameras like us recording the practice. Everyone and their mother could see that Nick Pringle didn't practice. So if you don't list him on the injury report, I don't know the rules. I really don't. I haven't seen a team really get disciplined. I'm sure someone has. I don't know what the rules are, but I think that they had no choice, honestly. And so I think I also think there's got to be. He's a senior. It's one of those situations of the only way he wouldn't play is if he genuinely couldn't play.
Right.
And perhaps that's what's going on here. But I have a hard time believing. And you think about Nick Pringle's role in a lot of Arkansas's games this year. There's been several games where Nick Pringle has gone out there for 4 minutes to start the game, maybe gone in for a second wind later for 4 or 5 minutes, and that been his entire contribution in the entire game. I think that's at the very least in play that he does something like that. The real question is going to be if he is available. Do you just go ahead and keep him in the starting lineup? Because I know it seems casual to just be like, oh yeah, just throw Nick Pringle or throw Malik Ewan in there, and we've called for it at times. Is that really when you want him to make his first start of the season? Is this game? And I think what I love about these moments is the big picture outlook of your team no longer matters. Because the big picture outlook of your team is what ruins every moment for you throughout the year. You can't even enjoy the close wins because you're like, yeah, but do we suck? You can't even have any silver linings from the loss because you're like, wait, do we suck? This time it's just survive and advance. And I think Nick Pringle, I think everyone in that locker room has that mentality. Let's just roll with it.
Yeah, I do laugh about this. I'm not saying every fan because I think it's always dangerous to do generalizations, but it's funny how, so many people this year have just been like, Nick Pringle sucks. Nick Pringle's worthless. He's just non-factor, whatever. And now today it's kind of like, so what's the situation with Nick Pringle? Is he going to play? It's so funny to me because that just kind of goes into in real time and people listen. I think everybody knows Nick Pringle specifically. He hasn't been what everyone was hoping in times. There has been times he's played well, but more often he's just kind of been a non-factor. But it also just goes to almost the nervous energy that Hog fans will have where they're just even if he's a guy we don't like or whatever, we want everyone to be there and healthy. We want everyone to be a part of it because there's still, I think, a glimmer, maybe just a little glimmer from some of you Razorback fans out there to be like, you know what? Maybe today is when Nick Pringle that we all expected comes out. There's always that element. So it's just find it so funny that everyone's very concerned about Nick Pringle, which rightfully so. I get it. But also so many fans are just kind of like, well, he's pointless, worthless. Why do we even play this guy?
Yeah, and when you're down to 7 in your rotation, because, obviously Knox is not going to play this weekend, you need everybody. It has to be an all-hands-on-deck type of situation because we know how weird things can get if you start getting into foul trouble and things like that. But also, I really do, and I feel this even more after talking to him in the locker room yesterday. I think there could be a scenario here where Arkansas needs the presence of a guy who's played in a dozen NCAA tournament games, who's been in a Final Four. Yeah. He has quite literally been a 4 seed playing against a upset-minded 13 seed that pushed them at Alabama for the entire game. And so that's one thing that what stood out to me more than anything else that was said yesterday in that locker room was when Pringle said, the first round, a lot of times, is the hardest one to get through. And there's just a level of maturity and leadership. And if I'm, I'm not saying that Acuff and Malik Thomas are not going to be, phased by the moment. The lights aren't going to be too bright. But if this thing starts getting close and it gets tense and it gets tight, I understand that it's not going to be like Pringle's going to say, hey, don't worry, boys. Come get on my back. I'll carry you to the promised land here. He's not that kind of player. But to have that in the huddles and to have that on the floor between, free throws or, breaks in the action where you can just kind of get the guys in the huddle and say, hey, breathe, relax. We've been here. We've done this before. He kind of seems like the guy to me who fits the bill of being able to do that the best. Malik Ewan has higher upside, obviously, in terms of what he can contribute in terms of points and being a matchup problem for a team like Hawaii and everything like that. But Nick Pringle seems the guy to me who can really steady the ship if they need it because he's got so much experience.
And he's also a guy that has played semi-banged up several times. I mean, he even mentioned the other day when we made that Final Four run at Alabama, I was banged up.
Yes.
So it's like with an older guy, you kind of trust him to know your capabilities, know your limitations. And I'm not trying to come at this from a just throw some dirt on it and get out there standpoint. But I do think when your season's on the line, when it's the postseason, the only time you're not playing is if you truly can't play and you can't give the team anything. And that may be possible. You know what I mean? Like there's no shame in that. I mean, Carter Knox, he is actively injured to where he cannot play and cannot give the team anything. So he's not out there right now. If that's the case with Nick Pringle, okay, I just have a hard time believing that happened. And I wonder when that would have happened also. And that's a whole separate discussion, but really fundamentally it comes down to what can you give this squad? And you look at every player on this team, and I'm sure if you ask Malik Thomas, he's like, I can give this squad 35 points. I can give him 6 threes, 5 steals, whatever. But for Nick Pringle, that may be 9 minutes, 4 rebounds, 1 block. If that's what you can give us, in the SEC tournament, it wasn't crazily dissimilar from that. If that's what you can give us, cool. And it may be 6 or 7 minutes, but I think Nick Pringle is going to give Arkansas everything he possibly can today, even if that is a small amount.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And it's to your point, I didn't see anything happen during the game on Sunday, and he played so well. And then they literally didn't do anything until they got here in Portland on Tuesday, and they practiced, but they weren't going hard out there. So it could just be, soreness, maybe the knee's sore or something like that. Because I didn't notice that he didn't have the back thing on that he usually does. Yeah. That dude wears it around town. It's like if he didn't have that on at that practice, and I assume it's not that, he did have the full leg sleeve on. So maybe, he might have fallen on the floor. It could be just a bruise or something. And he's just, taking it easy on it or whatever.
Before we move on from the Nick Pringle thing, because I swear we're not going to spend this entire pregame show talking about Nick
Pringle matters. All right?
But postseason Pringle does matter. Pretty much every player, if DJ Wagner were the guy that's like, oh, he might not play, I would then know exactly how Arkansas is going to do their rotation. Because I'd say, all right, you just play Darius and Malik 37 minutes together. You have Billy, slide in at the 2 a little bit. You maybe play big at some point. If it were any other player on the roster, I would know what that meant for the rotation. With Nick Pringle out, now I'm sitting here being like, okay, would that mean that, one, you're starting Malik Ewan, but then are you going too big the entire time? Are you playing Ewan at the 5? Are you playing Billy at the 4 for a lot?
Does him coming back and playing, the Duke Thero, all of that. It's like you've dealt with injuries just as recent as last year going into the tournament, and you still found a way to make it to the Sweet 16. Now, granted, Boogie Flant and a Duke Thero both came back, and some people probably would argue, they hurt the team chemistry, whatever. That's nonsense. But still, it's like you look at a guy like Pringle and also going up against a team like Hawaii where all they see, forget the stats, no one even has to look at their skill sets or anything, but people just see their height, and they're like, oh, you got to have somebody to be able to handle that. So it's almost like Nick Pringle's that. But I just want to remind everybody, listen, this is a new type of season and a new type of feeling where you can't compare necessarily, last year with injuries or whatever. This is the first time that you're rolling into the NCAA tournament as a high-level seed after winning the SEC tournament, and you're playing your best basketball right now. We haven't really experienced this type of situation going into the tournament, and until something hopefully doesn't happen, and hoping definitely doesn't happen today, but I'm just going to continue to say, hey, this team's going to continue to roll. They're playing their best, and even if it's Nick Pringle, hey, he was an impact in the SEC tournament. Apparently, he was the one that said, hey, no, this isn't. We're going to go win this. This is a championship. We want to win it. So whatever it takes, if it's just his physical appearance or if just going in there is using the experience, like you said, Curtis, of being an NCAA tournament guy, I don't care. Just go out there and take care of business and win games, and hopefully the whole team is ready for that. But, I'm excited about this all going on. I know a lot of Razorback fans are. In fact, one of the things that we're going to talk about, part of the Alumni Hall question of the day, we'll do it here in just a second. I want to remind everybody that SARACEN is our official sponsor here of our NCAA tournament coverage here in Portland, as well as hopefully San Jose, as well as Indianapolis. Shoot, at this point in time, they may be even the official sponsor of the championship parade that we're going to have back in Fayetteville when the Arkansas Razorbacks win it all. But either way, it's Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. And since the tournament's starting today, a lot of you are getting in on the action. You fill out some brackets. That's all well, good, and fine, and dandy. But You start betting on some of these games, and there's no better app to do it than the Bet Saracen app. And the best thing about it is that you scan that QR code right there on your screen, or if you click the link in the description below, it'll take you to download the app. And when you download the app, just be sure to use promo code INSIDEAR250. That's INSIDEAR250, because when you do that, you get $250 when you bet $25. As simple as that. $250. You're getting free money whenever you use the promo code INSIDEAR250. So do it today with Bet Saracen. It's Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. So, guys, since it is game day, and this is kind of where we're going to go with the question of the day, because everyone wants vibes, everyone wants feelings, and, you know, Razorback fans, they go through a roller coaster of emotions all the time. Waking up where we're at right now, would you say you're leaning towards more excited or nervous about today, just with Arkansas right now?
That's tough, because I think when we walked over here, I told you guys I was feeling a lot of nervous excitement.
Yeah, all this,
so
all above.
Which one am I leaning towards more? The closer we get, the more excited I get about what's going on. There's always going to be a level of nerves, because at this time of year, it's just, you know, one outlier game from somebody else, or one you didn't bring it. It could end it all. And I'm just not ready for it to be over. And it doesn't matter who you're playing with. It's always going to kind of be in the back of your mind of like, man, there's no way with this team that it could be over today. So, yeah, I feel some of that. But like I said, the closer we get, the more excited I get. I'm just ready to see these guys on this stage, man, because I was so impressed with how they rose up in the SEC tournament title game. And this is just a completely different level. And, you know, it's Darius Acuff, it's Malik Thomas. Those guys are great. Seeing Trevin Brazile and his ascension, it's been so cool to watch him over the years just continue to evolve and get to this point. And this is the last ride for a guy like that. So I can't wait to see these guys get out there. I'm fired up for it. I hope, and I think this is a big key to the game, honestly, but I hope they're ready for it too. I hope it's not a deal where you're just, and this happens, like you're a little tight, a little tense early in the game. You got to settle in through the first media timeout. I hope they come with their hair on fire. You know, jump a passing lane, the first defensive possession, boom, Billy Richmond dunk. And let's just set the tone, and let's just put the foot on the gas here and take care of these dudes. But I'm looking forward to it, man, and hopefully they're ready to play.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely a lot more leaning towards excitement. And that doesn't mean I'm not nervous. I mean, I said to you, Curtis, whenever you were talking about it, I was like, if you're not nervous on the first day of the NCAA tournament, then, like, that means you're not playing for anything. That means your team's not in it, you know? And so there should be a healthy amount of fear and nerves involved in there. And frankly, everyone on the team should be feeling that as well. Feeling the pressure of the moment a little bit, but you got to rise above it. And for me, it just comes down to I'm excited to watch this team, one, because I love this team. I love watching them play. Anytime I just get a chance to watch them play basketball, I'm gonna be excited about that. I also think there's no secret, Arkansas losing today would mean Arkansas really underperformed and underachieved and just really didn't show up. And that is very possible. It's certainly not something I'm trying to dismiss altogether. I just don't think that's what's happening with this team. I don't expect that to happen with this team. And I'm excited to watch them write their story, man. It's there's so many things we talk about coming into these things and so many different storylines and mental ways to frame it. At some point, you just go out there and play basketball. And I think for this team and their personality, that's what they like. They like whenever it's just as simple as let's just go out on the court and be us and play our game. And I'm excited to watch them on this type of stage for sure.
Well, it's like I said, and this is going to be an Avengers type of quote. But, you know, when the Hulk's about to come out and he says, Dr. Banner, I think it's time for you to get angry. That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry. That's how I am as a Razorback fan. It's like, it doesn't matter. I'm always nervous. It doesn't matter if Arkansas was the 1 seed, undefeated, never lost, beat every team by 50 all season long, and they're playing against the worst statistical 16 seed of all time, it won't matter. I'm going to be nervous. And it's like, it's been so good over the past few years. I mean, I know you had the 1 year you didn't make the NCAA tournament, but it's been so good the past few years of getting to that second weekend. I'm spoiled. I don't even remember what it's like not to be in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, because we've gotten so used to it. We know what's going on. And this is like the first time, and I mean this is the first time, even of all those other NCAA tournaments, where I've gone into this and I'm like, I legitimately feel that Arkansas is good enough to go to the Final Four. Like, there's been times, hey, if this thing goes well, this is the first time I'm legitimately feeling that good. But I also know that the NCAA tournament is filled with madness and upsets, and it happens all the time. And I can't help but feel like this has been too good. We've been doing too good. The team's been doing too good. Vibes are too good. when's this all going to come crashing down? And it sucks. I don't want to be that way. I don't. But we know, like whether it was Omaha last year or whether it was the Bobby Petrino motorcycle wreck, it doesn't matter. If things are going too well, I'm, as a Razorback fan, just immediately going to assume the worst. And I hate that, but it's just the way I'm wired and built.
Yeah, so many, national folks. Every time I look up somebody else that we've heard of, somebody that we know has Arkansas in their Final Four. Arkansas is their national champion even. It's like, this is kind of weird. I liked it when Arkansas was like the trendy pick to lose early, and then it would just tick Eric Musselman off, and the team would be like, oh, okay, where we prove everybody wrong. And now we're kind of in this weird position where you need them to prove everybody right for a change. So it's a little bit different up here on this mountaintop,
Yeah, no, and listen, that's completely valid. The like fear of that love and fear of like being the obvious thing that like, because this tournament is built for madness. And what would be more mad than the guy that everyone picked as the Kimba pick losing in the first round? You know what I mean? What would be more mad than that? And so it'd be kind of fitting. I said this last night when we were at dinner. Has it flipped the other way though? Because I've seen a lot of people echoing you guys' sentiments about like, I don't like that everyone likes Arkansas. Yeah. I feel like enough people have done that to where it's now kind of evened out. And it's like, I think Hog fans are properly scared. That's when you get in a bad spot as a fan base, is when you can't see any path to you losing. I don't think Arkansas fans are in that. I think Arkansas fans see a very clear path to losing. And the ultimate thing that matters, and this is the important one, none of this crap that we're talking about is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like none of like, Todd Farnham or whoever's like bracket or his Final Four, Obama's Final Four pick has no bearing on any of this stuff, which does give you a little bit of comfort. But I also think I remember when Cal was saying that when he tells Malik Thomas or Darius Acuff, when he tries to get on them and say that they suck, they look at him like he's crazy. He's like, no, like I'm one of the best players in the country. These guys are motivated internally with like something different. And it's not as simple as we're motivated to win this NCAA tournament game. It's like these guys view themselves as the best players in the country. They view themselves as superstars. They view themselves as guys who are going to play this game of basketball for as long as they can. And I think they have their heights set on so much higher. I don't even think like, and some of these guys probably aren't even feeling the impact of like how big of or how bad it would be if they lose. Cause I really genuinely don't think some of those guys have considered it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's where you talk about like the thing switching. I don't know if this is exactly the case, but it feels like if you had Skip Bayless and all these people saying Arkansas for Final Four, it's almost like Arkansas fans are going like, oh, I got to Google search. I got to find someone who has Arkansas losing in the first round. So that way I can balance it out and be like, oh, okay, there it is. But, I thought about this yesterday too. Last year, again, you were a 10 seed coming in, but there were still people kind of rooting against you, but you were in a way an underdog. But this year, it's like everybody in that arena that's not wearing Razorback red today is going to be rooting against you. Yeah. Wisconsin fans are going to be rooting against you. High Point's going to be rooting against you. The locals here in Portland, when they go over there, they're going to be rooting against you. Like they all want you to lose. A lot of them maybe because they don't like Cal. Maybe a lot of them just because they have some sort of connection at the schools. But a lot of them are just like, I love upsets. I love upsets. And that's what it is. Like nobody's going to be rooting for Arkansas in this matchup unless they just have a lot of money on it on Bet Saracen or something like that. Like they are going to be rooting against you. And so that to me is also a factor where I'm not saying like, oh, the home court advantage, you're not going to have it. You're just going to get overwhelmed. But there is a chance, though, that, in that arena, you're going to hear more noises getting made if Hawaii makes a three-point shot than if Darius Acuff makes a three-point shot. So that's another thing, too, is you just have to understand, Razorback fans, people are going to be rooting against you in this one. Don't be like, oh, why is everything against? This is what happens when you're at the top. People want to root against you.
I've gotten texts from several people in my life, friends, people I haven't talked to in forever that are all like kind of like they want to let me know. They're like, hey, I've got Arkansas in my Final Four, like just so that when Arkansas loses, they can text me and be an asshole. Like, and people do that because I filled out my bracket this morning. I picked Kentucky to beat Santa Clara as a reverse jinx, just because I'm like, look, if they beat Santa Clara, like I'll live with it. You know what I mean? Because I picked them to win it. But obviously, if Santa Clara loses, like that's what I actually want to happen. There's a factor of that too, where people will, they want to be right so bad that they will, even if they've been saying bad stuff about Arkansas, they'll pick Arkansas to win, knowing that they can come back on the other end and say, well, see, I tweeted 2 months ago that Darius Acuff sucks. So actually, people do that. That is a real thing. Yeah.
I hope that, well, and by the way, according to the Hawaii reporter that's been in there that there are going to be thousands upon thousands of people from the island.
Okay.
There in support. Man, he was on it with every single person he talked to. He was like, I don't know if you've heard or not. So we'll see. I haven't seen a whole bunch of that around here. I've seen a bunch of Wisconsin fans. That's basically it. But that could very quickly, because it's true. Like when teams are, locals are rooting for the upsets, and that's going to be a thing. But that could also very quickly turn into oohs and ahs with Acuff going crazy, I
was going to bring that up because it was exactly like it was in Omaha with Gage Wood.
Yeah.
Everybody was rooting against Arkansas and Gage Wood. And then suddenly they're like, oh, wow, we could witness a perfect game. And then about 7th inning, everyone's like, all right, screw Murray State. Let's go Gage.
Yeah.
Like, and it could be, like you said, if Acuff just puts on a clinic and is like one of the, I mean, obviously, I don't know what the comparison would be to a no-hitter in the College World Series to a, what Acuff could do. But if he goes out there and, goes for like 50 points or something like that, then yeah, it's going to turn the tide. But at least to start, they're going to be against you.
Well, and I think I agree that for the most part, people want to see Cal fail. They want to see Arkansas lose. They want to make fun of the pig. That's just the way it is. And even these smug national guys kind of secretly don't like Arkansas. We all know this. I do think there is a healthy contingent of just casual basketball fans out there who are like, man, this freaking Acuff guy's cool.
Yeah.
I want to watch him. And so it's like, I think there is a little bit of that. I mean, hell, Big Cat, Wisconsin grad, who's like tweeting every game. He's like betting on Acuff because it's like he's just a fun guy to get behind. I think there are a lot of people who do want to see Acuff have a special moment in this tournament. And that's another thing that is all these storylines that we're talking about, Pringle, the pressure, Cal, and the Big Island bringing their fans. This game could be as simple as Arkansas has Acuff and they win.
Yeah.
That could be that simple.
Yeah.
And it could be that simple for a lot of games in this tournament.
Yeah. And real quick, I'll give the results of how fans are feeling about the nervousness or excited with our question of the day. But, I always think about, I guess it was Rocky 2. I'm doing a lot of movie references today. But, when he's talking about that man came after you and he's like, that's not a man you want in your life type of thing. It's like, that's another cool thing about no one wants to play Arkansas and Darius Acuff. Like they can say, we're going to play him and we have a chance, but no one's choosing to like, oh man, if we could play Arkansas, that's a great matchup for us. Like no one is saying that. No one wants a part of Arkansas. Now that doesn't mean they can't lose. It doesn't mean that anyone's going to publicly say, I don't think Wisconsin's coach, whatever his name, I keep wanting to say Bo Pelini, and that's wrong all across the board. But it's like whoever it is, he's not coming out saying, man, I really hope we get Arkansas. I just love our chances against them, and I think that we match up well. It's like, no, you're the team. You have the player that nobody wants a part of, and people are scared in a way. They won't say it, but they're scared in a way to play it because you're that good. So
one of the more trendy 4-13 upsets was Nebraska ball going down.
Yeah,
beating the piss out of them boys.
Yeah, they're putting it on Troy right now.
Come on, Troy.
Putting it on Troy right now.
Good,
for sure.
Good.
Man.
Nebraska's first win.
John,
hopefully.
did you know? I learned this morning. Troy basketball has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's cousin. Now, he doesn't play for him. You want to know what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's cousin's name is? Javier Gilgeous-Glasgow.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That is great.
That alone made me think about Troy, but when I found out he didn't play, I was cool to ride with Nebraska ball.
That's got to be pretty rough if you are the brother of SGA and you can't even play on Troy.
No,
that's rough,
he's
man.
like 6'1" or something like that. You remember Nikhil Alexander-Walker, who was at Virginia Tech for a while, I believe? That was another one of Shai's little proteges.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, maybe they need them because they're getting smoked right now.
They are.
But I want to remind everybody, Alumni Hall is our Alumni Hall question of the day. They are the best place to get your Razorback apparel, no matter what it is, for football, basketball, baseball. They got it all. And a lot of you have been asking about, okay, where can I get some good Razorback NCAA tournament apparel and everything? Now, a lot of times you can just buy them here at the merch store for $80 million at the NCAA tournament. But we know our friends over at Alumni Hall, they're going to have you covered with all of the great stuff that they have going on, not only for coaches gear, but also any sort of celebration. They have SEC championship shirts and apparel there too. And don't forget, they got great polo shirts for all the men, women, and kids. They got the high-end stuff, whether it's Johnny O, Columbia, Southern Tide, everything you could possibly want, not just for apparel, but decor, everything Razorback related. It's at Alumni Hall. You can either have them shop over there at 3417 North College Avenue, or you can go over there and hit them up on their online site at insidearkansas.com/Alumni Hall. That's insidearkansas.com/Alumni Hall. Be sure to use that code INSIDEAR20 for 20% off your purchase. It's Alumni Hall, the ultimate Razorback shopping experience. So, guys, as far as the nervousness or the excitement, Razorback fans voting 72% are excited, 28% are nervous.
I feel like that's appropriate.
Fair.
Yeah.
as long as more people are excited than nervous, that was my thing. It's like, as
Sure.
long as there's that, because again, everyone's going to, if I put an option on there, say both, everyone would say both.
Right.
Because again,
Right.
nobody's going to go into this and do that.
I mean, when your life can end on a day like today, you know what I mean? Like you literally don't know.
Yeah.
As Nickelback said, if today was your last day, but seriously, when the season can end in the most devastating fashion possible, like there's not a 50% chance, but like there are two options here. Arkansas wins when we have a good night. Arkansas loses and it's the literal worst day of our year.
Yeah.
When that is a possibility, even if it's a 1% chance, that's gotta be in the back of your mind.
Oh, yeah. Falling on top of that, too, we fans, right, we have zero control over what happens today.
That's not true, actually.
We have zero control.
Actually, no, I will not co-sign that.
Yeah, I was just saying. Like,
If we win, it was us.
oh, yeah. Well,
Andrew literally forced a turnover out of Tremont Mark at their practice yesterday.
He
If
did.
he can do that, then he can control the outcome of this game.
The chat will be happy to hear that. T-Mark. And listen, I was trying to be the good guy here because, when me and T-Mark are in the same room, the tensions, everyone can feel it.
Yeah.
But they were dribbling right up. We were sitting on the scores table, and they were doing a little dribbling drill, and I just said, hey, attaboy, T-Mark. Dribbles it right off his foot. I kid you not, like in that moment, dribbled it right off his foot.
jeez, yeah. And
Incredible.
if you only knew how some of the takes you've had about him. That's why I thought you were joking when you told me. He's like, hey, Ellis actually yelled at it, said, this. And I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. It was like, because he hates Tremont Mark. And then he was like, no, he actually did.
I was trying to bury the hatchet, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, a good job doing that. I'm sure you appreciate it. I think the hatchet's been buried now that you caused him to have a turnover.
I mean, for T-Mark, by the way, though, I mean, like he's already clinched, a cool moment in March. He's had a strong career. Like he's fine. They could lose by 100, and they will probably.
It would be hilarious, objectively hilarious, if he, outperformed AJ DePanza and ended his career today.
Could be Arkansas's Elite Eight opponent, right?
Could be.
Is that right? Do I have that right?
I think so. Elite Eight, I think it
I would.
Could you imagine?
I would love to see T-Mark in the Elite Eight, man. Arkansas, Texas, and the Elite Eight would be. That actually would feed families.
Dude, that you talk about, there'd be Razorback fans that were like, oh, I can't afford to go out to San Jose. I can't do this. If they ended up playing Texas, they'd be like, we're driving.
They're in.
We're
goodness,
there. And because that would be just so random of like all of that. But give me Texas, dude. I would love that.
The best part about this is that Arkansas is probably not going to the Elite Eight, but like Texas really isn't going to the Elite Eight. Like the reason it's not going to happen is because Texas has zero chance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to be on that side of the equation.
Exactly. So yeah, folks, we're here in Portland, Oregon at Spirit of 77 Sports Bar. Really appreciate them letting us set up here. As you can see, the Wisconsin fans are going into the game. We got a few Razorback fans though that are pulling up here. I got a guy with the Slobber and Hog jersey, the running through the A jersey and stuff. So yeah, we got some.
It's now 100% Hog fans in here.
Pig, yes.
I tried to tell him.
Yes.
Yeah, we tried to tell. We were like, hold the line.
Don't bounce out yet.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's just
don't clear out of here.
Blend into the red for a moment. And it's going to be your time to shine. So.
Yeah. No, so I'm excited to see that. Is a Tesla truck in front of us. We got a street in front of us. You can't see it, folks, but we just sometimes get people watching.
I made eye contact with passengers in the car at this light.
Yeah.
At least 5 times during the show.
Dude, I saw a woman just house an entire, I don't know what drink it was, but I mean, she opened it in front of us and then it was gone.
When you made your last minute coffee run across the street, intern Cameron's probably going to tell on us, but me and John were kind of laughing at the idea of you getting just not like run over,
hit by a car,
but just
nudged.
Tapped by a Subaru
to make you spill the coffee.
Tapped, just enough to just kind of knock you over, knock the coffee over.
That's crazy, bro. Cameron was probably going to tell me. I'm gonna trust that Cameron was going to let me know.
But here's the thing: is like. It could have been any of us doing that, and the other two would say, how funny would that be? Like, if it was me running over there, I know you guys would be like, man, how funny would it be if John just gets nailed by a car and spills the coffee?
Only one of us, though, would leave to go get coffee with 4 minutes before the show and actually make it back on.
He did it. I
believe it.
There's nobody in there. It's pretty quick.
The betting odds
our intro is also 5 minutes long, so I even told John before I left, I was like, start the intro if you need. Like, I'll be back.
Yeah, but you made it back even before the intro started, and nobody was complaining, I'm sure, about our start time and everything, too. So
thanks for the coffee. By the way, I shouldn't have said it'd be funny if you got hit by a car.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but no, the experience. I mean, the weather's actually been pretty good. I thought it was going to rain today, but the weather's. I mean, it's cloudy and overcast, but it's nice. It's better than some of the weather we've been in with NCAA tournament sites. So, the Razorback faithful going to be there today. I'm gonna be really curious to see how many people are there and how it's all going out. I'm kind of bummed because they had the Wisconsin thing here, and it was a great thing. Band walked in and all that stuff. Arkansas just didn't do anything, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. I mean, maybe there was something that
no
we just
alumni event.
yeah,
no
just
nothing?
no alumni event, no hey, I think they're doing a send off for the team at which I forgot which
It's
hotel.
happening like right now, actually.
Yeah, that's probably why.
I want to pause the show and go over there.
Just run over there real quick to make it happen. Yeah, it's a team send off at the Bidwell Hotel, and it happened at 10 a.m.
Oh,
or 11 a.m. Sorry, 11 a.m.
11
11 a.m. So yeah, it's getting ready to happen. So that's probably why that's where all the Razorback fans are at. But still, at least they're doing that. But I was like, man, I'm sure like we had some stuff. We had some fans here and everything, but it's like I guess we're just gonna have to take over and be like, listen, wherever we go is where the Hog fans need to go.
Yeah.
And we're going to have that happen. So, but we're going to have some updates for you on Friday too, assuming Arkansas takes care of business today for cool stuff that we'll be doing for Inside Arkansas Live on Friday on location, but we'll keep you updated on that. We'll get some other things. We'll get to your chats, folks, and all that. This is completely random and all that, but I just wanted to bring it up. Fayetteville High School just hired Anthony Lucas as the head coach. So shout out to him.
Yeah, that's good.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, that former Razorback, they like hiring the former Razorbacks. I noticed,
seems to be a thing.
Yeah, and he's
an objectively better former Razorback than the previous head coach.
Yeah, one that was pretty iconic and legendary. I just think it's kind of crazy. He's going from PA to Fayetteville High School, but all right.
Was he the head coach at PA?
Yeah, he took over after Kevin Kelly left. He's been there for a while. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but either way, hey, congrats to him. Shout out to him and shout out to everybody involved. So. We'll continue this and we'll get into some of your chats and some updates as far as everything going in the NCAA tournament. I want to remind everybody that our guy Sharkensaw, you need to check him out, man, because he owns Mad Labs Code Studio. It's a small independent code studio where they always focus on the thoughtful long-term software work rather than the quick disposable builds. And they can also help with any of your individual work, or even like if you own a company, they can help you move away from the Wix, Squarespace, all of that stuff for a more custom solution. Because we know that anytime you go through that, it's just kind of a template. They just throw it to you and say, hey, use this. And it doesn't really cater to the needs that you have or the type of company that you are, the type of thing that you're wanting to go with. Well, that's what Sharkensaw, our guy, Derek Madden, can help you out with. Custom websites and web apps, internal tools, dashboards, admin systems, system modernization, refactoring, the whole smash. He's able to help you out. And the best thing about it is he'll give you a free 30-minute strategy call if you ever need help with one of these things. You just scan that QR code right there on your screen. It'll take you to the website, and you can check it out and be able to scan it that way. Or you can also just hit him up in the DMs because he has Sharkensaw. So I'm sure he'll be able to help you out that way. But no matter what it is and all the help that you may need, be sure to hit up our guy, Derek Madden, with Mad Labs Code Studio, web, software, systems, automation. He does it all with Mad Labs Code Studio. So, get to as far as updates go in the NCAA tournament, TCU's up 10 right now on Ohio State. 43-33.
Nebraska's up 16 over Troy at halftime.
There you go.
And Joseph Pinion just hit a 3 in the NCAA tournament, and they're tied 7-7 with Louisville. South
Wild.
Florida.
Real quick, do y'all think that Michael Brown being out for Louisville, does that big picture change the equation? Do you think they've played enough without him where it doesn't matter?
They played enough without him to where it doesn't matter, but they were objectively worse without him. You know what I mean? Texas Tech was able to do the thing without Toppin for a little bit, and now they've kind of been exposed. But Louisville's 7-5 without Michael Brown.
Yeah,
and they haven't beaten anybody good all year. Maybe Miami at the end of this, but they're like a 7 seed. So I don't know, man.
USF was also I'd imagine one of the most popular upset picks.
That's what I was gonna say. They are, and they have been, and it was almost
before we knew. Yeah,
it was almost so popular to where I was almost gonna be like, too many people are on this. I don't want to take it. But without Michael Brown, I mean, it's. I'm not saying it's an even matchup, but it's closer than people might think.
Funny
man,
that we've reached a point in society with NCAA tournament stuff where you can kind of predict, because it's such a mad tournament. Nobody predicts anything right, but it's you can always kind of sniff out what's going to be the casual upset pick, or it's the guy who thinks he's smart and he's like, hey, this 12 seed who's 31-4, I think they've got a chance against this shaky 5 seed who has their star player out or whatever.
Pinion's has gotten 3 3-pointers up in the first 5 minutes of this game. I love it.
Man, he may start becoming like Jimmer Fredette out there. Everyone goes on an upset and starts going on a roll, and suddenly Joseph Pinion's doing that, and then you're gonna have Razorback fans back. See, we should have kept him. Should have kept that guy. So Ohio State's on an 8-0 run, so they're closing in the gap here.
I can't believe this game is close because Ohio State in the first half could not get a good look at all.
Right.
And TCU was missing point blank looks. TCU was up 13 at half.
Yeah.
They should have been up 17.
I know Razorback fans are watching David punch.
Dude, it's a 3-point game all of a sudden.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy.
The madness is what it is. Anarchy?
Gotta love
No.
it.
No, it's nothing but craziness whenever you see an 8-9 game, have a possible change
Teeter
there.
back and forth in an 8-9 game.
And just a PSA to everybody out there: be careful about that viral fake John Rothstein account that's been taking the world by storm on the internet.
Oh, no,
Some bangers. It's literally at not John Roth or whatever, but it's just like
he'll get me every now and then because that guy has perfected like the cadence of the tweets, and I'm always like, damn, that's a Rothstein tweet.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, so it's a great day. Hopefully, people took off work. I know a lot of people did to get it going for this one. So, but really pumped up and really excited to see it all. Let's go ahead and get to some of your chats, folks. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us, tuning in. A little pregame action of Inside Arkansas Live before, and of course we'll have Pot at the Palace post-game show presented by SARACEN following the game. And I guess in that particular sense, folks, just remember, and as a friendly reminder, because I know you're gonna bring it up, we're gonna be set up for post-game and inside the arena in the media area because we are astute members of the media now. And it may not be exactly as the final horn sounds, because we got to do some things in the locker room there with filming some videos and all that stuff. So just be patient, chill out, relax. After Arkansas beats Hawaii by 80 today, just, hang out for a bit. We'll get on it and we'll have all the reactions. So just want to remind everybody.
We probably won't be screaming like we normally would.
No.
If they lose, we actually will be live sooner, right?
Yeah, we're just get it over with.
Yeah.
When like the locker room would open up at a later time, right?
We're gonna have to just hand John the short straw there.
No, you guys are gonna have me taking grenades in there. Just be like, all right, I got to talk to these players after. Like, all right, so what did you make of being upset here? How bad is that too? So
I'll tell you, I don't want to blame myself for the Texas Tech loss last year, but as a leader and as an accountability guy, I'm going to do that. I left at the under 4 timeout of the Texas Tech game so I could go get set up at our post game spot, and I was like, I thought I was doing the right thing in the moment. And then Arkansas blows a huge lead and loses. And I won't make that mistake again. I'm not leaving the arena. I'm not doing anything. I'm not even worried. And luckily we'll be able to have all our stuff set up. But it's like I'm prioritizing the pig over convenience.
Well, I was going to say if Arkansas, we always talk about who to blame or whatever. I think we're going to have to blame Andrew if Arkansas loses today because, he never was credentialed for Razorback NCAA tournament games until now. And then suddenly it just goes around.
He'll be the fall guy.
Yeah.
Listen, we're already fantasizing about him getting hit by a vehicle, so we might as well.
Yeah, we're all in bad shape.
Blame everything bad that happens on him.
It's like that happens. You guys were just like, John's got to go in there and talk to players pissed off after being upset. It's like we're just all like, we're gonna wish upon bad things about each other, and hopefully that happens. Or today, everything just goes perfectly fine with no issues whatsoever.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
there'd be nothing better than.
That's why I have a problem with taking the blame is because I'm not going to get any credit if Arkansas wins. I'm okay with taking the blame if I can also get credit. Like there has to be a possibility for me to.
It's just like any of those games, like in baseball or whatever, where it's like it's not a big deal if you win, but it is a big deal if you lose. It's kind of the same deal,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever it takes. So, no, we'll get to some of your chats, folks. Again, appreciate everybody hanging out with us and tuning in with us here on the show today. But real quick, before we get into those chats, I want to remind everybody that OZK Insurance is the official insurance company of us here at Inside Arkansas. And one of the best things about OZK Insurance and what they're set apart is that they're an independent insurance agency because they're not just tied to that one company. They shop a multitude of A-rated carriers to find the best coverage and price for you. And now they've paired with something that you don't usually see from an independent insurance agency, a full-service mobile app. Because with the OZK Insurance app, you can see all of your policies under one roof, home, auto, whatever you have. Plus, you can pay bills, request roadside assistance, file claims, request policy changes, and even get new quotes, all from the convenience of your phone. If you get the best part of the independent agent, which is choice, flexibility, and real people, as well as the convenience of modern tech, I don't know what you're waiting on. Just go ahead and hit them up, because if you're tired of being stuck with one carrier chasing down paperwork, go to ozkinsurance.com, or you can search OZK Insurance in the App Store or Google Play. Local agency, national level options, one powerful app. That's OZK Insurance. All right, getting some of your chats, folks, here on the show today, which, by the way, if you guys ever sneeze, just hit those red buttons. I always notice that with you guys. I feel bad because I want to hit it for you so that way you don't do it. But, yeah, just turn your things down or whatever.
I don't know what's going on in Portland. It's not like a sneeze allergy, but I feel like I'm getting that tickle in the throat kind of deal. I'm like, oh, gosh.
Oh,
man.
dude.
You know why that's happening to you, Curtis? John, can you believe this? He shamed me this morning. He was like, you and John were complaining about how cold it was in the arena. Felt fine to me.
I thought it felt great in there.
It was 43 degrees.
Yeah, great for Eskimos.
But
what do you mean?
Dude, every time we go to one of these things, I'm sweating from my foretad as we're in the locker room and everything. And I didn't do that yesterday. I wasn't I was just fine. Yeah. But everybody was talking about how cold it was. Even the players, like Malik Thomas, I saw in that little video, he was asking Cal, "We sure this isn't a hockey rink? Like it's cold in here." And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. It was freezing, but
I brought my little portable fan. So,
well, listen, today during the game, I'm sure it'll get pretty hot and heavy because it's going to be brutal. But I tell you what, there's something about like you talk about Stillings throat. I had it last night when I got in my hotel room. I think I sneezed the loudest I ever did. I think I woke somebody up. Like it was bad. Like it was just something that again, it's got to be the allergies in the air here in Portland. We're not used to it, but still. And again, real quick, speaking of Portland. Want to give a shout out. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. As horrible as that sounds, it's like truly not as bad as
absolute hoss of a
unit,
dog,
man.
Oh my gosh,
that is a mean dog. I would not want to go.
What are those dogs? It's not a Doberman. What is that dog called?
Rottweiler, maybe.
Rottweiler. Yeah,
Rottweiler?
yeah. That was Like I said, you're not messing with that guy on his bicycle. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, Portland. I feel like it's not like we've been able to go through like the entire city or anything. Like we haven't even crossed that little river or whatever. I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty standard big city so far.
All right. But most of the stuff that people kind of warned us about coming here, that hey, be on the lookout for this and that. We really haven't experienced much of that. Like you see a little bit, but it hasn't been crazy or overwhelming, and that's good.
I know I keep saying we're good to chat, but just nothing. We talked about Anthony Lucas being the new head coach of Fayetteville. Guess who just quote tweeted the announcement? Ryan Silverfield with the Razorback and
he's
flexing.
Like, love this one.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I had to retweet that.
Silverfield might be my guy, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was like, I guarantee you, there's not a single other high school that would hire a new coach in the state of Arkansas where he'd like quote tweet like, yeah, all right. But I'm like, I think everybody kind of knows what's going on there. So, man, that's crazy. All right, into some of your chats, folks. Really appreciate it. Super chats get read first. We all know the rules. Shout out to our guy Garrett. He says slept 1 hour last night. This tournament just feels different, but we get to watch Darius Acuff Jr. play hoops today.
Yes, that's a fact. That we do. We do get to watch Darius Acuff Jr. hoop today. So many people. I've gotten DMs and comments on Twitter and everything. What's wrong with his hand? What's wrong with his hand? Why is he shaking his hand? What's going on with his hand? He's good, man. He's okay. He hit it or something. Something happened at the SEC tournament on Sunday. And he was kind of looking at it and shaking it off a little bit, and then he proceeded to score every time he shot the basketball the rest of the day. I noticed at one point he just kind of shook at yesterday and was looking at it, talked to the trainer for like 2 seconds. He wasn't taped, anything like that, and then he probably shot 92.8% while we were there. He's okay. I understand. Anytime we see anything like that, it's like, what is going on? He's good.
Yeah. Coach G was talking about it, and he was like, yeah, I mean, he looked at it a little bit, but like, it's no big deal. It doesn't seem to be like, I'm sure it hurts him, but it's like, I don't think in the heat of the moment, I don't think he ever thinks about it or that it's hindering him at all. But then once you're done, once a timeout's called and you kind of think, you're like, oh, dang, my hand hurts.
Yeah. Sure. Well, it's just, it feel like every Razorback fan is almost like once every player wrapped in a bubble. Like, as soon as like, he could sit there and he could be like, kind of like stretching and kind of like grimacing on his leg. Everyone's like, what's happening to him? What's wrong with him? Is he dying? We need where's the trainers? Like, it's okay. Crazy aspect, I know. But athletes, no matter how good they are, sometimes, they have a little pain. Sometimes they're a little banged up a little bit. But not like, find me, I'd love to know which team in the NCAA tournament right now, entire roster 100% healthy, no pain whatsoever. Like, it just doesn't exist. Yeah, it just doesn't exist. So, let's see. Paddlefish says, how pissed would you be if we meet Bam in the Final Four? Not pissed. I would love it.
I'd be fired up for that.
Oh, dude.
I would also favor Arkansas in that game.
Oh, man. Like, if that happened and Arkansas won and beat Alabama to go to the national championship game, like, dude, I would be doing, I would be going in all of that, like right there to all those Bama fans and everybody.
Like how would you like to, to get revenge on your bully growing up?
Yeah.
Like, I would love it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Darius Acuff would smoke Aiden Holloway in that matchup.
Yep. And hey, listen, they won it.
Thank you.
That was crazy,
Thank you.
bro. That was crazy.
Wow.
Bro.
Okay.
That was crazy.
I got it now. That's good.
We would definitely be smoking on that Aiden Holloway pack.
Yep. That's good.
delivered and distributed by Aiden Holloway.
But the funny thing is, for a fact that by that time, Nate Oates would be like, oh yeah, he's going to be coming back. He served his time.
I hope he's back. I hope Aiden Holloway plays in the Final Four against Arkansas.
Yeah, I know he had a 2.1 pounds of weed, but his education comes first, and getting his degree. And
anything under 3, we're good. Anything under 3 pounds, we're good.
Yeah. He had a group project with Bediako. He's back now.
We've got standards in our program. Yeah. 3 pounds of weed is fine as long as you're under that, you're good.
Yeah, he had to do his focus sheets this morning in class. So, WMF Big, appreciate it, man. He says left work early to go to the bar. Nice. 3 beers in already.
Dude, WMF Pig is the man, right?
Yeah, he says
he's on a permanent bender.
We'll be here till the end of the Arkansas game. Might get fired, ? Worth it to see the Hogs start their run. I don't know if it's worth getting fired seeing Arkansas beat Hawaii today, but I respect it and appreciate it, and I'm glad you're honest about it.
It's fair if you want to be annoyed at your coworker for taking off work, or be annoyed and upset at your subordinate for not showing up to work. That's fine. If you fire someone due to taking off work on March Madness, I mean, what kind of company are you running that you really genuinely think on March 19th the world's going to end if this, Yeah,
I want them invested for tax evasion, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like a culture issue in the workplace. Absolutely.
Well, speaking of that, Derek, our guy Derek, appreciate it. He goes, told my boss I was leaving work early today, and he saw right through me. Only gave me a modicum of crap. All right. About it, though, priorities, bro. I don't know what that means, man, but I'm glad that at least you tried. It's the more important thing is you tried.
Getting some crap for it that's fine. Yeah. Like, that's to be expected. But yeah, if it's like, it's going to come out of your check, buddy, all right, fine, whatever. But people got to understand.
If you, and I've never actually had a real job, but if you know people who work in corporate America, like if you take off work. If you're scheduled to work on like December 23rd or whatever, and you're like, oh crap, I got to take that day off. If you just go to work that day, you're not going to do anything. Nobody's going to be working. I think from like 2 to 5 p.m. work day today, nobody's really saying anything.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm old enough to remember when Arkansas was really good in the NCAA tournament in the mid-90s. I was in first grade, and they rolled out the big old TV to let us watch as kids, which I look back on, I was like, I was in first grade for the second run to the national championship. And I know that all of us didn't know what was going on or didn't care. And I started thinking, I was like, no, it's just for the teachers. The teachers just wanted to watch the game. But they're like, we don't want this is history. We want to watch.
We're helping the kids.
Yeah, we're letting them know. It's like, man, those teachers just probably had money on the game, in all honesty. So
shout out to Miss Connerly. God rest her soul. She's no longer with us, but she was she was the gifted school teacher. And I was in gifted because I was a star. But she let me check the score to Arkansas Bucknell in the middle of class. And I remember her telling me, she was the first person who ever told me, she said, Andrew, you're going to be on ESPN one day talking about sports. And I was like 6. I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, no, I'm going to be playing in the NFL, Miss Connerly, but thanks. But I remember her letting me check the March Madness score, and for being the first person to tell me, first human being that ever said I could do this.
Oh, okay.
Did you cry?
Huh?
Like, did you at the point that you checked it, did you realize that they had lost the game?
Yeah, no, I checked it to find out they had lost like 57-55 and Ronnie Brewer had gotten clamped in. I was upset, but I was like, damn, like,
they had a chance.
I think we were a 9 seed or something like that. So it's not like they were going
8 seed, 9th, and Arkansas had a chance to hit the game winner, and they didn't. So yeah, it sucks. Shout out to Sharkansas. Appreciate it. He goes, Pringle just knows Ewan is going to cook, not stressed literally at all. So there you go.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
By the way,
Wisconsin's they're on now. By the way.
Yeah. On a serious note, regardless of what Pringle does today, whether he plays 2 minutes, 20 minutes, or 0, Malik Ewan has to be ready to be a grown man. And we talked yesterday about how we like the way Ewan and TB practiced with a lot of intent. They were definitely like really locked in, and I like that. And I think that no matter what, you can't have both of those guys no show. And that's usually what happens this year is you usually get if you get a good TB game, well, then Ewan disappears. And sometimes Ewan will be really good and maybe TB's not great. Between those two guys, one of them has to be really good. Both are capable. And I think Malik Ewan, if you get like a good version of him, we will look back on this and be like, why were we worried about the 7 minutes Nick Pringle was going to play?
Man, I feel like there's been so many games where I've done the thing where I've said, Malik Ewan should really be able to eat in this matchup. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But especially in the post, they're gonna kind of let him go one-on-one. Like they help. They do help. I'm getting tired of people saying no help.
Yeah.
They do help. The coaches even said, "Hey, this is crazy. We do help," and people keep writing stories about it. But it's different in the way that they go about what they do. But they're not gonna like double down into the post and everything like that. So if he's gonna be able to go one-on-one, if he gets that 7-footer in foul trouble, they are cooked.
Yeah.
Whiskey up 10, by the way.
They're gonna win by 35, dude.
Yep. They're in great shape here so far.
Blackwell's a baller, man.
Yeah. It's kind of the sucky thing is, assuming Arkansas, of course, takes care of business. There's going to be a ton of Wisconsin fans there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Or in 2 days in the game. So.
Unless we just happen to stumble upon like the Wisconsin bar, you know.
Yeah. And that was just all it was. Okay. Yeah. Dude, what are we doing here? Back of the iron, getting thrown out.
That's high point ball. What do you?
Oh man, refs are screwing them over already.
You either got to call a foul or that's what.
At
That's
least
high
make
point
them
ball.
work, man.
Yeah.
You got to make them work.
Gotta do that.
Yeah, they're just taking contested threes.
Hickory Hawk, appreciate it, man. Says Aola Palika. Means no worries in Hawaiian. And aloha means goodbye. Hogs by 90.
There we go.
So I thought that was good.
I think it's a Kuna Matata.
It's hot. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, isn't that where Lion King was filmed in Hawaii? You know, like it's a big Hawaiian movie. Yeah, totally. But thank you for that. Thank you for that, man.
Where it was filmed is crazy too.
Yeah, filmed as in like it was really happening. You know, over there. There's a lot of lions.
That's where they set the shots.
That's right. Mrs. Dansman. Shout out to Mrs. Dansman. Says,
Is
good
she
morning.
here, by the way?
Yeah, she says, I'm here and we are a few feet behind you. Woo pigs. I guess that was them that we were shouting out and yelling at. So, yeah, thank you, Mrs. Dansman.
Shout out. We talked about it on the way over here. And did we talk about it yesterday on the record?
I don't know what you were going to say.
I don't think so.
Yesterday at the practice, Mrs. Dansman and her husband were there and they waved at Curtis and Curtis didn't even hesitate. Just kind of knew it was them and just walked right up. And I genuinely was like, this must just be someone that Curtis knows. So I didn't even go with him.
You know,
I was like, this must be like his his old professor from college that lives in Oregon or something like that. I didn't even I was like, I'm not gonna go, follow him to go talk to this person that I don't know. He comes back and he's like, yeah, this is Dansman. They're here at the practice. And I was like, oh, I probably should have went up there.
So what that tells you, Andrew, is that anytime Curtis is about to go talk to someone, you just got to follow him, no matter who it is, and just be like, hey, maybe they know me too.
I mean,
getting some good conversation.
I've been riding Curtis's coattails for a long time. Like, yeah, there's no limit that I can take it to.
Super chat from Chris Bennett says Inside Arkansas Bracket Challenge next year. Well, I mean, we're doing one this year.
You do one this year, yeah,
and there will be one next year too. So. Yeah.
Hogs by 90 exclamation point.
Yeah, we will absolutely do one next year.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Chris, I'm not like calling you out or anything at all. I'm just saying there's been a lot of people that have been asking about hey, you guys doing a bracket challenge? I'm like, man, yeah, we tweeted about it. I don't know where else to put it. Like, I mean, we promoted it and talked about it. And so if you didn't find it, I apologize. But also, I don't think you can do it now because the tournament started.
So if you've already created your bracket,
64.
You can add it in.
You can add it in.
Okay,
I could be wrong on that.
That would make sense, though.
I think you can add, if the bracket's already been made, you can add that bracket to the group.
Got you. Okay, that would make sense.
I could also be lying. I really don't know.
Well, either way, it sounded good when you say
I'm gonna try and do it right now.
Okay, well, there you go. Shout out to Omri. Appreciate it. Goes shout out to the boys for all the content. Love seeing y'all interact with the players. Have to make this a usual thing here in Fayetteville, especially with football, help grow the program, WPS. So
yeah, no, I mean, we had a blast going in there. That's literally my favorite part about
it's the best
being here. The games and everything are awesome. We'd be able to check that out anyway, but just being able to get the locker room access, it's just different than putting those guys at a table and having 30 people with microphones peppering them at a press conference.
Right.
It's way more relaxed. You can have a little bit of fun with them, and it's more of a conversation as opposed to like the standard interview questions. And it was a good time. We had some good moments in there. I don't know that anything yet has got on the Carter Knox kill celebrate. Although he gave us some pretty good moments there. I thought that his reaction about Billy stepping up with him down was great. But TB, when he found out that Malik Ewan had more dunks than him, that was one of the best things I've ever seen. Just the genuine. What? No way. That was great.
I'm always kind of thinking about it, because some players or coaches or whatever obviously love us. We have a relationship with them, we've hung out with them, and they like us, and we know that. But I imagine there's some players who just think we're the lamest people in the world.
100%. I'm fine with it.
I sense that sometimes when I talk to some of the baseball guys, where I think there's some of them that maybe you're just like, this guy's a nerd. I think that's possible. I was pleased by Malik Thomas was borderline happy to see us.
Yeah.
I would say he kind of was
Because you know
Just
what, and
happy.
I don't want to
Carter
go too
was
much
too.
into it. It's like, but he's probably like, hey, I was around these guys for an hour and a half at Blue Ember Smokehouse, and they weren't weird, they weren't stupid, they didn't ask me dumb things. So hey, they're cool in my book. It's like simple as that.
He's probably had worse experience.
Oh,
Sure.
100%.
He also was like, oh wow, y'all are like all here in Portland. Like he thought it was cool that we were literally. I mean, we're in a completely different part of the world.
And also speaking of that, Nick Luttrell of THV11, shout out to him. He was like, all three of you came? Like, yeah. He's like, dude, we only were able to get two people. He's like, well, that's what we do here at Inside Arkansas. It's all or nothing, man. It's like we come and go as a group
here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We make it possible because and here's the deal: is everybody respect to all the people in the media, like because there's different things, but I don't know how people could do it effectively with only like one person. Like as far as what we do with the video, I mean, there's just so much going on. So, but appreciate our sponsors for making it possible. I guess I know ZK said, "What's up with Pringle?" We talked about that. He's just on the injury report, but it looks fine. Probably will be fine.
Right.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
But if he's not, that's alarming.
Yes, it is. It's funny. Kiko Hadar, this was earlier, but he's like, TCU putting it on Ohio State right now. Nebraska ball on upset alert. Get the next 2 days off. Life is good. Yeah. Nebraska ball is not on upset alert because, they were kicking the crap out of them. So
Wisconsin kind of messing around here a little bit.
Yeah. High Point cut the lead. See, oh, yeah, dude, nails. Boom.
There we go.
3-point game. Wow.
Just like that.
They play so fast, man.
Good.
They've gotten up like 15 threes in the first few minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Those two guys wearing Fred Flintstone costumes out there?
Probably.
All right. I hate the guy. You know what? I'm rooting against High Point right now because they got a guy that's number 99. I just hate it so much.
It kind of felt like Wisconsin had him on the ropes there right away, but High Point just kind of keeps coming at you. So
yeah, where is High Point again? Is it like Carolina or something?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Okay. I wonder how many fans of theirs traveled. That felt like a travel.
I imagine very few, if any.
Yeah.
That is a trip right there.
Yeah. The real Cats by 21. I can't keep up with all this nonsense. He says, so Hawaii already has a history of beat Cal. That ain't good, folks.
Well,
good one.
I didn't really think of it that way, but
yeah, I guess that's true. Kiko Hadar Burns says, John, how's your luggage? Are you okay? Yeah, my luggage is fine.
It's all here.
Yeah,
all present and accounted for.
If I could just remember and stop being stupid and forgetting like one crucial thing every time we come down to the arena from the hotel room, then yeah.
Well, the thing about luggage is once you arrive at your location, you have control over it from there. So
yeah, I
think it's going to be safe until at least Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully so. William F. Big just says, would you rather have a night with your all-time celebrity crush or a Hogs Natty? Hogs Natty
for sure.
Yeah, listen, because my all-time celebrity crush would be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fine, whatever, and then they move on and they don't care about me. But, the national championship, that's forever. And that was what I was thinking the other day. Is like, you guys know John Inkskoff? You know who he is? Or the name at least?
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, you know who? Well, I'll tell you who he is. He was the walk-on player at the 1994 national championship for Arkansas. You couldn't go back and name any other walk-ons. I couldn't from any other team, but it just shows you, like, when you win a national championship, like, people remember every single person that was involved in the team, every single person that was there. Like, it's just funny how that happens. I'm wondering if Arkansas, say if they won the national championship this year, but it'll be like that. Was like, you guys remember Elmer? Like 20, 30 years from now. Like, yeah.
And also, you're definitely underselling how much we remember walk-ons. I mean, we all know Johnny Holmes.
Well, no, I'm talking about like from 30 years ago, though.
Sure,
yes. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we remember some of the walk-ons here recently.
Oh, I'm going to remember Johnny Holmes in 20 years.
Yeah.
I'll still be thinking about Johnny Holmes.
Yeah, dude. Let's see. Kiko also, he says, Curtis, if the Dogs lose this game, will it be the worst tournament loss in program history?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would. Not even question. Not even a question in anything.
I mean, and I don't know. Nolan had a couple teams that had like disappointing losses here and there.
Yeah, but nothing. The only one they got close as the 2 seed in '95 of losing to, I wanted to say it was like Princeton or something, and it was like a 2-point win for the 2-15 game. So it was close, but that's why I keep saying like the biggest upset Arkansas had is it was a 7 seed and a 10 seed. So they haven't witnessed that. But yes, that's why it would be the worst, the absolute worst, if that ended up happening. So let's just not wish it into existence. Let's just do that. Let's see. Where was I at here? Oh, Lee, who's on Facebook, just says, WPS, thanks for the coverage.
Yeah,
you're welcome, Lee.
I like that.
Appreciate it. Seltzer says, decent size of Arkansas cohort there. We got a few people like here, but honestly, I don't know.
I haven't seen a ton.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen a ton, but I know there's a lot here. You know what I'm saying? Or at least a good amount that I would think.
If we had gone to the send-off thing, there probably would have been a nice little handful.
There was a whole flight from Little Rock that was supposed to leave last night or whatever, and it got delayed until this morning. And so everybody's on that flight right now, stressed about getting here on time.
Yeah,
but that'll be a
which happened in San
large amount of
Francisco
people
too. San Francisco, we weren't seeing any Hog fans, and then about an hour before tip, all of a sudden about, a few hundred piled in. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely not expecting it to be like a Woo Pig takeover over here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what John Tyson just needed to do is buy a massive Airbus and then just say, hey, everybody, pay $500 a pop, direct flight over here. We'll make it work for you. Just do that.
Which, and I know,
Like a little party bus.
Yeah.
For us, this location was tricky and for a lot of Razorback fans, but I will say it was pretty smooth at the airports and everything. Did you guys see the stuff from Philly today, the Philly airport? Like, we could have been there messing with that. It's I don't think anybody who's there right now is leaving in like the next 48 hours. It's crazy.
It's crazy out there. Like I said, I know we had our issues, but like we were very fortunate with our traveling of like getting here and our flights going on time, other than the cancellation, but it worked out for the better, honestly. It's like, so yeah,
really
we're very fortunate for that. Let's see. Also, a few more super chats here. Arkansas says, are you guys going to hire the hard-hitting Big J sports journalist Billy Richmond? People are asking.
He did a great job.
He did. He's holding that camera really well. So
my favorite is that he was holding the camera and then he had his hand out here like this, like he was asking, like he had a microphone.
Yeah, that's honestly like some of the that's the most low-hanging fruit of like, oh golly gee. Anytime like those stuff happens and the players like, I'm gonna film, and everyone's like, ha, 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 look at this guy over here being you don't even have to do anything. It's just like, so yeah, if you want to get people to like you and go viral, be a player and act like you're doing journalism things.
We didn't get a chance to talk to Billy, but I can't remember who it was he was talking to, but he was like talking about the game, and he's like, it's going to be an absolute dog fight.
Yeah.
Two
dogs, one bone.
Like he was like, whoever can stay alive, like, which I appreciate. Like Billy, even we talked because we were a little bit worried about how the team's like not worried. It's like Billy, they could be playing literally a 12U Pee Wee team, and Billy's like, this is going to be a fight right here.
Shout out also to Hickory Hog. Appreciate Super Chat. Goes, if there was any doubt about who Cahillo is cheering for, check out the picture Arkansas baseball just posted. Have you seen this?
Oh, I have not seen this.
I'm gonna have to pull it up.
Cahillo had a good day at the plate yesterday, by the way. Hey, shout out to Peyton Lee. Peyton Lee absolutely dominant. Yeah, he looked
How far
awesome.
did he go?
He went 5 innings on like 65 pitches or something like that.
Efficiency, baby.
5 or 6 strikeouts. I think he only gave up like 1 hit. It was impressive.
All right, well, I'm going to try to see if I can pull up something here.
Oh, he's wearing here he is. He's wearing a Hog jersey. I mean, but everyone is.
Yeah, but say, like, yeah. What do you think that he's going to be wearing not a Hog jersey when everyone else is? That's pretty cool. I'm gonna get this picture real quick.
This is actually a great picture.
Yeah, this is
a great
objectively picture. Like an awesome picture here. So.
We don't have as many farmers' tans as I thought.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Them boys hitting the tanning bed.
And Ryder's got a pad one.
He does.
Also, look at Dave in his jersey.
That's how I look in mine. Like,
dude, I'm gonna pull that up. That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that looks awesome right there. And flying out to South Carolina, repping the boys. I have noticed a lot of the Razorback guys. That's like a yearly thing. I remember when Arkansas played New Mexico State that year. I was at Bomb for that game, and I remember Will McIntyre met with the media, and he immediately was like, "Who's got the score? What's going on? What's the situation?" Because they're always usually pretty fired up, and so I know there's a lot of baseball guys that'll be like either on that flight or landing in South Carolina watching on their phones.
Sutton Smith is ready.
Sutton Smith, huge Darius Acuff guy. That's your football update for the day.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Well, I'm going to try to, for some reason it's not doing a share screen, so I'll just share the image and jump into that because I always appreciate whenever there's like crossover here when it comes to the sports and everything. But
that's cool.
So you can't really see a whole lot of it because it's kind of far away. But yeah, Dave's over there in the far left. Is looking awesome. Cahillo, you could see with the blonde hair there at the 00. So, yeah, look at them.
Where's Nate Thompson?
I didn't search in the photo. Is he in it? I see Hunter Bell.
He'd be the one that looked like
okay.
Elmer.
But there's somebody that's about to get on the plane wearing a jersey in the backpack.
Okay,
and I'm like, come on, man, he can't be a part of the picture.
All right.
So, I don't see it, but and all that like Dave's just got this gap in between them too, between the players. He's kind of like, I'm not getting too close to him.
Dave doesn't look super comfortable in the photo for whatever reason.
No, not really.
And also, there's somebody on the second next to Dave. He's wearing a 94 Arkansas jersey, so it's not even the same. So there's a lot of stuff we could take away from this picture, but that's pretty fantastic, though. That's pretty fantastic. Shout out to Dave and the boys, man. Shout out to him. That's great. I'm wondering if we'll see any. I guess probably not today, but if Arkansas makes a second weekend, seeing maybe like will Silverfield pull up because you're on spring break. Maybe.
I think he would.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like, would Jordan Weber roll in too? All right, we got. Okay. I say if it was a cop, I would have thought that it would be a team pulling up, but instead it's the Amber Lamps. So hopefully Everyone's
It's like
okay
a
there.
third one.
I know.
Start of the show.
Kind of worried about it's going the direction of the arena.
Fentanyl's crazy.
Yeah, Jesus, man. Let's see. A few more chats here too. Appreciate it. Jakota just says, "Sorry, we're late starting the show, guys. Andrew got hit by a minivan." Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. How late would y'all have delayed the show?
Oh, no, I wouldn't have delayed it at all.
First
I
thing
would
he
have
said, he's like, I'm starting it at 10.
I'm starting it, the intro.
That's crazy.
Now, I'd send Curtis out to make sure you're okay, but I'd give play-by-play of what's going on so that way everyone knows you're all right. So listen, the show must go on. We got to keep it going. But.
Dude, I would bring you back to life. I would. I'd save you.
I believe that, actually.
CPR?
I believe that.
Sure.
Are you certified?
What we got to do? Well, I mean, it's expired, but if I save his life, nobody will care.
Just put your AirPods in and call Michelle, and then
I
she'll help you
do
out.
forget sometimes that Curtis is like extremely qualified to
Save lives.
diagnose us with some type of injury.
I could definitely tape your ankle.
Okay, good to know. So in case any of us gets hurt here.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Kiko says, Andrew, I know you said you'd get a tat for Natty, but would you go as far as to shave your head and put the tat on your head? I think that's too much.
Probably not.
That's too much. Yeah.
How does that?
Also, like, we gotta at some point, like when we agree to something, that's the terms. You can't alter the deal. You're not Darth Vader. You don't get to just proactively like go back and be like, no, actually, this is the deal now. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
He told Boba Fett. He said, who was it? Was it? No, it was Lando. It was Lando that he told. He was like, pray I don't alter it further. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Tamara says, WPS, let's take over March Madness. Darius, Trevin, Leak, Billy, and Malik were named to the top 50 players in the West region. A-Cup was the number one player. Arizona was the only team with 5 players. So
we got a lot of all-region boys.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like I said yesterday, if I would be shocked if it's not Arkansas or Arizona getting out of this region in the Final Four. Like that to me is the only 2 options, and any other options would be a major upset. So let's just hope it's Arkansas. Let's hope it's them. Let's see, MDS something. He says, we had students' parents call and complain about teachers watching the game back in the 90s. When everyone found out whose parents had called, they got bullied the rest of their lives, as they should have.
Yeah, that
like, dude, it's like
there's nobody.
It's like getting extra recess. Like, why are you going home and telling your parents, like, they made us watch the basketball game today?
Yeah, geography class will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nobody is more pompous than a non-sports fan who has to let you know at all times, I don't like sports. I'm not a fan of sports. I don't care about this thing. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
We don't do that with any other thing. We're not sitting here being like, I hate opera music. I don't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless for Timothy Chalamet. Y'all see he did that?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. Or it's just like when people were watching like the first rocket from NASA pop, I was like, I'm not a fan of rockets.
I don't care about space.
Yeah, I don't care about space travel. Like, yeah, it's like, well, that's kind of cool there too. Just a few more here before we roll out, folks. Really appreciate you and appreciate Spirit of 77 Sports Bar having us out here and doing the show from there. I think I just saw, Hayden, just real quick. He says, just join the stream. Can someone tell me what's going on with Nick Pringle? He's going to be fine. He's on the injury report. And
almost said something inappropriate.
You?
Yeah.
Really? Nah. Well, probably should have anyways. That's towards the end of the show. It's NCAA tournament. So, all right. So now Wisconsin's back up 9. It was a 3-point game for a second. So game of runs, as they say, right? Game of runs. There's another chat. Oh, Chase in Arkansas says, y'all's player interviews helped me learn about who they were as people and players so much better than the official pressers. So much better in that setting. Great work inside Arkansas. Thank you. Yeah, that's like what Curtis was saying. It's the best thing as far as content goes that we have at the NCAA tournament because there is no other way. Like we did things with Malik Thomas and Amir Blue Ember, but that was like an exception to the rule. Like we don't get that access. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the NCAA requires it. Like you're like, no, you have to, because no coach would allow that. So yeah, it's definitely one of our favorite things to do. And we love doing it. So.
I wish we got that opportunity more. The last time I can remember us doing that at a non-NCAA tournament thing was you remember that year, Curtis, that they just like had everyone in the practice facility and they just had them spaced out by like 5 or 6 feet. You could just go and talk to whoever.
Yeah.
It was the worst team Arkansas's had this decade. It was the Tremont Mark team. It was the King Caleb Battle team and all that. So like those guys weren't even that fun to talk to.
No, they weren't.
No. Also, Arkansas Shaman, just to let you know, he says, what channel is the game going to be on? The game is officially going to be on TBS. So, where you watch Seinfeld and Friends reruns all the time is where it's going to be on. So, okay. So, guys, before we wrap up here, we just got to do our whole final predictions here. Andrew, we'll start with you. How do you feel like this game goes with Arkansas and Hawaii today?
Arkansas 86, Hawaii 62.
Okay.
Roll by them, huh?
Yeah, they're not like a complete thorough dominant like ass whipping, but like they're gonna be up like 9 at halftime, and then they'll just probably have a quick spurt to get it up, and then they'll just coast.
Yeah, I kind of get the sense that we're going to be uncomfortable for a while in the first half.
Yep.
I don't think Arkansas is going to go into the half down, but I could see it being like a 6-8 point game, kind of like what you were saying there. I do think that eventually, though, the Hogs will wear them down and the athleticism will shine. They'll pull away. I think that I said on this morning's pod at the Palace 90-72, but I think Arkansas is going to win. I think they're going to cover. I don't know if it's still at 15.5, but I do think it'll be more competitive than we want it to be, longer than we want it to be before they get full control.
Well, you kind of I felt the same way, Curtis, because I was going to use the example. This game, I think, is going to be like that Colgate game where Arkansas was, I think we were only up by like 1 or 2 at half.
Yeah.
Down
I hope they don't get down
down
15, but
Right,
yeah,
yes, yes.
But yes.
Where it's post game at half, and then they pull away in the end. That's how I think this game's going to go. I got Arkansas winning 94-70.
Okay.
24-point victory.
Okay.
So easy that he's like, man, we could just cruise around. We can hang out. Like I see Isaiah Sealy getting into the game, like maybe Elmer.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Like, yeah, just I feel like that's going to happen. Stop playing with their food. But, yeah, it's going to be a slow start. It's going to get frustrating. Just everybody understand. It's going to be a frustrating game.
Game of runs.
Yes, it's going to be frustrating. So, yeah. But I was going to say final thoughts, but I guess that's going to be our final thoughts is our final prediction.
That's it.
But, folks, really
Actually,
appreciate it.
I have a lot of final thoughts, but you're going to have to wait until the Pod at the Palace post game.
Okay.
I will share them all.
Well, there you go. You'll have to wait till that. But, yes, folks, really, again, appreciate all of your support. Appreciate all of you tapping in with us each and every day on all of our content here live at the NCAA tournament. It's going to be hopefully a great day for the Razorbacks, so be sure to tune in to the Pod at the Palace post-game show presented by Bet Saracen. Again, not immediately as the final horn sounds, but pretty quickly afterwards, as we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in the locker rooms, getting content and all those things. So be sure to tap in, subscribe to us here at Inside Arkansas. Follow us on social media. Shout out to Spirit of 77 Sports Bar for allowing us to do our content and our show from here. And we're going to keep it going. And that'll do it for us today on Inside Arkansas Live. For Andrew Ellis, Curtis Wilkerson, intern Cameron, I'm John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow at noon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you for Pod at the Palace post-game show following Arkansas and Hawaii in the NCAA tournament.